I'd like to show you a rope trick. I call this a rope trick. The reason I call this a rope trick is that it's done with a rope. This is a rope. It has two ends, one on each. To make this trick difficult, I will cut one end off. Now it has one end, that's on this. To make this trick twice as difficult, I'll cut this end off. See, now it has no ends on either. All that's left is the middle, that's here between. I'll cut the middle. Now we have no middle. Oh, look, we've got two new ends. I'll cut one end off. We'll throw the other end away. Now we have no ends nor a middle. All we have is a rope. Would you please catch the rope? Hold it up in the air so everyone can see it. I think you better stand up so everyone can see it. Come up in front so everyone can see it. Give her a big hand for volunteering. What's your name?
Katie.
Katie, have you ever seen me before?
No.
How do you know it's me?
I don't know.
You don't know. Here, you take the scissors, and I'll take the rope. Now, Katie, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Cut the rope in half. I wanted you to cut it in half. Well, in a case like this, I'll have to stretch it. Now we have two ropes that are perfectly... Look, it's got an end. Do you mind cutting that end off, please? Use both hands. Now we have two ropes that are... No, Katie. Cut the end off. Now we have two ropes... You know you're very destructive. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll start from the very beginning. When I tell you to cut this in half, will you please cut it in half? Here, I'll tie these ends together. Logically, you can understand that since this rope has no ends, I couldn't tie them together. To prove my point, I'll remove the ends. See, no ends, nor a center. All we have is a rope. Do you mind cutting that rope in half? Not my fingers. The rope! We'll tie these ends together. Now, if you were to cut this rope at the exact opposite side of that knot, the knot will be in the center and the center will be at the ends. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
I think so.
You think so? Explain it to the audience.
Yeah.
Never mind, cut the rope in half. Not my fingers, the rope, the rope! No, over there. No, don't kid around. No, I wanted the knot in the center. Look, hold this end. See, I wanted the knot over here, not over here. Now, if I slide that knot, it must be a little piece of rope tied around the big one. Therefore, when I untie it, it should not come apart in this fashion, should it? Here, I'll tie these two ends together. I don't trust you and the scissors anymore. See, I say scissors. The reason I say scissors, I can't say scissors. I'll use my fingers as Schaefer and Sopper that way. We'll wind this rope up. This is what I was supposed to do originally, but you got me mixed up. I always get mixed up, even tying my shoelace. I get one end caught inside, then I get the other end caught inside. In case that ever happens to your shoelace, pull on both ends until the knot comes right out. Now, if you untie your shoelace like that, people are liable to think you're silly. I don't want anyone to think I'm silly, so we'll make everyone silly. Cut this in half. Cut this in quarters. Cut this in pieces. Chew it away. We'll leave one end sticking out, rub the rest of my fist, get some magic powder. Oh, look at that magic powder. And lo and behold, we have one rope. Isn't magic wonderful? Thank you very much. Give her a big hand. Thank you. I'd like to show you a rope trick. I call this a rope trick. The reason I call this a rope trick is that it's done with a rope. This is a rope. It has two ends, one on each. To make this trick difficult, I will cut one end off. I'd like to interrupt right here and say one of the reasons I have the ends cut off is to get rid of the frayed part. Has two ends, one on each. To make this difficult, I'll cut the second end off. Now it has no ends on either. All that's left is the middle, that's here between. Now watch the move on this. I come down, bring this loop here, and pick this up like this, so that actually when I am cutting, I am only cutting off a little piece of rope, but you are hiding it with your palm, and you bring it up and it looks normal. If I really did it normally, it would look like this. If I do it abnormally, it looks the same thing, except here I have this. Now, I cut this little piece. This end falls down here. I cut one end off, throw the other end away, and we have a rope. Now I call up someone to assist me. Would you please come up, Katie? Thank you very much. Here, take these scissors. When I say scissors, I ignore the audience because the whole audience says scissors, 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 and I make believe I didn't hear it. The second time I say scissors, I say the reason I say shiz, I can't say scissors, and that's when I get a laugh. Okay, this time, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Now, notice my move here. The end that I was pulling here, I drop and pick up this piece, so again, they're cutting off a little piece of rope. So, doing it again, watch. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Cut the rope in half, and all she has done is cut off the little piece. I say, oh, you didn't cut it in the center. We'll have to stretch it. Now, since you have this loop, all I have to do is pull like this. I find it looks better if I put my hand right over both of them and pull it on this side, and then I purposely overstretch it so that it's uneven, and I have her cut off that end. The moment she does it, I pull up here and get the rope uneven again so that she cuts off another piece. This time, I give a big pull to make it exaggerated. Remember, we still have this loop here. I touch this end. It doesn't matter which end you take. You can take this end or this end and touch it to either one of these two ends. I hold it between my fingers, drop this, and the rope looks restored. Actually, I have a little piece of rope here. I place this underneath, twist it up. Now that's the little loop. I grab the big rope in my hand and let them see the little one. Now if I hold it like that, it looks like the two ends of the rope, but actually this is all it is. It's the little piece. And I tie that around the big rope so that I can slide that around. Now I ask her to cut the rope, not my fingers, the rope. And, okay, no, you already cut. We'll leave that alone. I slide this down to here and have her cut. Go ahead, cut. No, yeah. So I have a piece here that's a length of rope and a knot. Say, no, I wanted that knot in the center, hold this end, and I slide it back, slide it forward again, and put the end sticking out of my thumb. The piece that she cut off before and this little piece are both coming from the same direction, so that when I untie this, I have a choice of taking either piece. I take the big piece and throw that away. This time I tie it and say, since the rope has no ends, I couldn't tie them together to prove my point, and I throw that away. This is a linking ring move in which you have the break in the ring and you just hold onto the break and it looks like you're turning it around. I asked them to cut it again, and I got that little piece again that's detached from the big one. Tie it and slide that also to the center. Since I have the rope detached over here, I fake cutting it with my fingers. Now this slides so that when I do this, I slide it off into my hand and show the rope restored. I take this and do the shoelace knot. Now the shoelace knot, notice, one end goes in front, one end goes in back. Where my thumbs are is very important. This thumb comes around and this thumb grabs it here. That's where they were resting. I pull it so that I have a bow. Here is where the thumbs are important. The side of the thumb, I pull this rope through, and the side of the thumb, I pull this rope through. If you don't do it that way, you're going to have a knot. And you have a dissolving knot. So with this knot in my hand, all I have to do is pull like this, dissolve the knot, and show the little piece I cut. The next part, she just cuts the piece up to little pieces, and you throw them away. I will state one thing here for those who want to use it. When I did a show with Xavier Cugat, I had 50 foot of rope in my shirt and back, through my sleeve, through my watch band, and a pink thread over here so I could do my whole act. At the end, when I had the little piece sticking out of my hand, I grabbed a hold of the pink thread and started pulling, and I produced 50 foot of rope. When I came to the end, there was a button at the end, and it got stuck on my wristband. All I did then was just keep waving the rope, and it looked like I was still producing rope. There was so much. Xavier Cugat gave me 7 curtain calls and closed the curtain finally on me, because you could keep on doing that forever. Thank you very much. That's the end. Thank you. Different people thread a needle. First of all, we need the needle's eye. This is the thread, and the object is to thread the eye in that fashion. You understand what I'm talking about? Oh, you do? Sometimes the eye is very small, so that this is much more difficult. Periodically, in the process of sewing, you get a knot in the thread. And when you try to thread that eye, this is very, very difficult because the knot doesn't fit through. Sometimes you get the thread caught in a crack in the table or in the chair. What I want you to do is be the crack in the table or chair. Here, hold this. When you have that happen, you got to put the table through the eye. You can let go. Lately, the manufacturers of thread are having a lot of fun. They're selling women spools of thread without any ends. It drives them crazy. Now, so that you find that if you want to thread the needle, this is impossible. It cannot be done. You also have the situation where sometimes the thread gets frayed and you have more than one end. The mistake the women make is trying to thread both pieces into the needle's eye. If they were to take one and put it into both eyes, then they were to take the other one and put it in. That's a lot easier. Now, I've become so facile at threading a needle that not only can I thread it normally, but I can put it in on the other side. See, 1, 2. Now you know how to sew. You do? Give her a big hand for helping me. Thank you. Okay, we're going to give you the explanation now. Katie, would you come in and help me? Thank you very much. When you place this rope in your hand, have it hanging so that the short piece is hanging from the bottom out of your fist. The long piece goes around the outside of the thumb and comes around. You have to wind it around enough times that the people won't know that some of these are going to be missing when you're doing the routine. Now, this piece that I'm making the loop with that was winding around the thumb, I grab in my fingers separate from the first piece that I had hanging. When I take that, the whole gimmick is you put it underneath your thumb and it's threaded. And here's the way it looks. Comes right out. Okay, let's do it again. We have the eye and we go like this and it looks threaded. I'll do it once more slowly so you can see it. Watch. And it's threaded. Now when I pull it out, one of these winds is coming out. So I got to make sure I know when to rewind it on my thumb. The second time that I do it, I make the eye very small and do the same thing. The third time that I do it, I tie a knot in here. But that knot doesn't hinder it in the least because all I'm doing is putting it underneath and showing that the knot cannot fit through. The next time that I do this, I give the one end to the person assisting me. Katie, will you hold this end? Again, it doesn't matter because I'm putting it underneath my thumb. I'm doing the same thing over and over again. The only thing is I made a routine out of this. Now I tie the ends together. Okay, we still got the eye here. And notice, I'm just putting it underneath and showing that it's threaded right through. The next part is where I have both ends hanging. I would like to give credit to my son, Alan, for making this up. You have the two ends of the rope hanging down. You wind this around your thumb. In this case, because it's doubled, all you need to do is wind it around 3 times. It won't show, and you got 2 loops. Now, you go like this and put it underneath. It's threaded. Then you do the second one. Show you an extra bit. I could take both of them and put it under, accomplishing the same thing. But for the sake of the routine and giving it a continuity, I only do one and then do the other one. Let me give you one other thing that I haven't got in the book. A gentleman by the name of John Alexander, who now lives in Florida, misunderstood something in my instructions and accidentally did this, and it's a good bit. He thought you put one of these ends in this loop. What happens here is when you go to thread it, due to it being in the loop, it gets threaded on one eye. The other one I haven't put in the loop. It gets threaded, it didn't work. It gets threaded on, this is the one eye, and this is threaded on both eyes. Now, my son discovered this one also. When you thread this, if you grab it in back, not in front, but in back, and do this, it comes out double threaded. You have it 1, 2, and routine. Thank you very much. This is a routine that I made up after Sensational Rope. When traveling on the road, I found that I was using up tons of rope. This one, I don't use up any piece of rope. I just use the same rope over and over again for years. The only thing I have to do with the rope is wash it periodically. Okay, I'd like to go into the routine and show you what a fantastic... This can be done silently or talking. We'll take this, tie it, and cut it. I didn't quite cut it even, so we will stretch this. Okay, lower the camera down to my foot and the knot and the rope. Watch closely. Again, pick it up. Watch the ends closely. You watch one end, and you watch the other end. Are you watching? This time, we will tie it and cut it again. Fully restored. Looks like a slip knot. Actually, it's a sliding knot. You can take this and slide that wherever you want on the rope. If you care to, you can change it into a slip knot. Another type of knot is a jumping knot. Watch it jump. And a review of all the different knots I have just shown you. Thank you very much. Okay, this is the explanation. Before you start, double the rope, double it again, double it once more, and this little piece you tie around the outside. Pull on the long rope so that you don't get confused. Have that hanging from the bottom of your hand. Grab the short rope sticking out of your thumb and pull this apart. And it looks like the short piece is part of the long rope. The first time around, I tie this the same way as I did with Sensational Rope. The little piece goes around from underneath, comes up, grab the bottom here, and let go of the top so that little piece is wound around. Tie it, and slide that knot, not all the way to the bottom, but halfway on this length, and fake cutting the rope because you have both ends here. Now the reason that I slit it part way is so that when I untie it, I have a short piece and a long piece, and I can stretch that. Watch how I do this. I stick my hand in from the back, twist my hand so the rope is hanging in front, and put this over both ends and a little below that short piece, so that what you have is the short piece holding a slip knot. Now, when I pull it out from my foot, I grab that and pull it out of the knot, making it into a slip knot. The short piece is here, and continue pulling and show the rope restored. This time, wind the short piece around, grab the other piece, and slide the short piece without tying it to the other end. This is what you have. I unwind that from the rope so it's detached in this fashion. Pull one end in and show this end. Pull the other end in, show this end, and then grab it. Before I grab it, I'd like to show you one extra thing. When I pull this into my hand, in which the rope was this way, I made sure that the first piece that I pulled in went all the way to the bottom of my fist near the small finger. The second piece I pulled in and held it near the thumb and first finger, so that when I have to grab it now, I only have one piece to grab, and I'm all set with the short piece again. This time, I tie it, move it all the way down, and cut on top. Now that's a slip knot. Actually, if I did that, the next part would be exposed. So let me show you something that I do. I do one of two things. I can either wind this around twice and tie it, trying to make that little piece as small as possible and trying to get these two ends of the little piece not to show, and I twist it away from the audience's sight. That's one way of doing it. The second way that I do it is I hold this with a very short piece here. The long piece is here. Grab this and tie a bow and get both ends hidden as much as possible. And now slide that all the way down to the bottom. Okay, cut here. Try to get this to look as much of a real knot as possible. When I wind this, I slide it along, but I don't slide it off the rope. I put that end into my fist and drop all the rest, and here's what I have. As far as they're concerned, I restored the rope. Holding that knot here, I put this into my thumb. From the back, I come in here and grab the knot hidden in my hand. These two fingers clip this rope here. I pull the knot through and hold on with my two fingers and tie what amounts to a slip knot and pull it small enough to make it look like a knot. Next part, I fake sliding this. Now watch how I do this. My hand is above the knot. I'm going to cover it. And I just fake sliding it, and now show the other knot I had hidden. I slide that, and then again fake on this side to the center and show it vanished. I tie another slip knot in the center. When I pull it, I show the other slip knot. When I pull that, I show this slip knot. So it looked like it jumped from one end to the other. Again, I fake sliding it off and throwing it away. Pull the rope. Oh, I should show you. I pull this knot along like this, showing the rope is whole. But when I'm in this position, I lower the rope on my fist, grab it, accordion pleating the rope, throw it back again, putting in another accordion pleat. My thumb and first finger hold it on top so I can release everything below. I grab an invisible knot and release, and it looks like it jumped onto the rope. I now fake doing this. I think that move belongs to Slidini. You wind the rope like this, and all you're doing is pulling out nothing. Again, wind it, and you fake untying it. Now you do the lifeguard knots where your both palms are up, twist your hand, and put that loop on your hand. Do that again. Sometimes I do it twice, sometimes 3 times. Take this end, pull it through both these loops, and let everything fall, and you've got a bunch of knots. That would be the end of the routine. I would like to give you one extra bit in which, when I do talking, I get some more comedy effect out of it. This is where I tie this to show very little of the knots, slit it down, cut it, and faked, restoring it with the knot there. I explained to the audience that when you go mountain climbing, you need a knot. First of all, you can slide this knot wherever you want, or you can pull it out. But for mountain climbing purposes, how do you climb to the top of a mountain without having the rope there? You have to shoot the knot up. If the mountain slants this way, shoot the knot up here. If you have a very high mountain, take the knot and throw it all the way up on top of the mountain. But make sure that you hit the rope. That's the extra bit I wanted to give you so that you can include it in your routine. Thank you very much. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am going to do cards to the pocket. We have 10 cards here, and you need an empty pocket. Let me just verify this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The object is to have these cards go one at a time up my sleeve and into my pocket by doing that. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. 1 card in the pocket. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. 1, 2, 3 cards. 2 cards. 1 card. And the last card. Thank you. Now let me give you the... Okay. You have somebody from the audience legitimately count 10 cards in your hand, and they keep the rest of the deck. So I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. In the process of closing these cards, single off 4 cards as you close them. That's 4 cards on top, and palm them immediately. There cannot be a hesitation here. Your best misdirection is the moment they finish counting it, close it and palm it. Now, go to your pocket, show it empty. I don't even bother putting these cards to the top of the pocket. In other words, where you hide it up here and pull your pocket out to show it empty. I actually keep the cards palmed, pull my pocket out, put it back again with the cards, and I have only 6 cards in my hand. Now I'm going to show you a move that I made up. I call it the sand slide move. You need the backs of the cards towards the audience. I count 1 with my small finger here and the cards resting on my small finger. It's overlapping here. I have a shelf. I slide this, count 1. Square it up against the shelf. 2. Square it against the shelf. 3. Take the shelf away and lower these cards slightly. That's the 3 cards in front. 4. Now, as I go to take the 5th card, my thumb pushes those 3 cards back into the hand. Here's what I have happening. This part of the hand is hiding this. The top of the cards are hiding it. The cards projecting here are hiding it so that you can't see a thing. Let me do it. 1, 2, 3, lowered 4, sliding 5. Now I have to slide 1 extra card over, so I move this card down here, and as I go for my next card, I slide that over. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. Let me do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, back to doing the routine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, missed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. Riffle the cards, reach into my pocket, and take one card out. Always show your hand empty going into your pocket. Now I have 6 cards still here, but I have to count 9. So this time I count 1, 2, 3, 4, lower that, slide the 3 over 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I didn't slide that one extra card. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. Show your hand empty. Take out another card from your pocket. Now, to count 8, I don't count 3 originally. I count 1, 2, and lower it. 3, slide 2 cards over. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Take out another card. This time I only lower 1 card. 1, 2, slide the 1 card over. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This way it looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take out the last card from the pocket. This is a legitimate count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I said the last card. I ended up 1 step ahead there, and that's when I take it out. Now to do a 5-card count, I'm doing the buckle count. The buckle count is where you hold the cards tight in your fist with the fingers and this, your palm. This finger, the first finger, the index finger, pulls and buckles that card in the back. So that you count 1, 2, 3, buckle. Pick up. Don't push these cards, it'll spread. Pull this away and pick those up for, there's 2 cards here, 5. When I finish that count, I want you to notice, turning it this way, there are 3 cards separate here and 3 cards here. Watch. 1, 2, 3, buckle. 4, 5. Since those 3 cards are separate, in the process of squaring them up, you get a break between those 3 cards and palm them immediately and reach into your pocket, leave the 2 of the 3 behind, and take out 1. You have 3 cards left. This time I do a backward Elmsley count with 3 cards. I take a card from the front, put it in the back and leave it there. Take another card from the front. 2, 3, 4. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. This way. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Take out another card from your pocket. Now you only have 3 cards left. So you count 1, 2, 3, and take another card out of your pocket. This time for a count of 2, I do the buckle and have 2 cards over here. Pull it away and pick up 2 cards. Show this. I have 2 cards ready to be palmed. Place them down, palm them, leave 1 card behind, take out the other card. I have 1 card left. You flick it, show the 1 card, take out this card. You have this last card. Now this is the move on this. My card is clipped between the first and third finger on the back, my middle finger here, so that I can move the card down and grab it, holding it in this fashion. Let me do it this way and show you what I'm doing. Behind the cover of my other hand, I do that. Now, holding it at an angle that's correct, I place it there, and it's supposedly there, but I'm holding the card here. Here is where you have to be careful. Your hand comes down and turns slightly slanted inward to hide the card against your body, hiding it and sliding it into your pocket. Show the card and show the last one gone. Another way you could do it is push it down and palm it that way. Show the hand empty, reach in. Still another way you could do it is hold it like this, snap the card into this hand so that you show 1, 2, 3, gone. Reach in your pocket and take it out. I prefer that move. Thank you.